Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're looking at the top 3 bodyweight exercises you can use to get really toned and strong triceps. Now just because they're bodyweight exercises doesn't mean they're easier than using dumbbells or machines or anything like that. In fact, some of these are really hard. We're going to kick it off with the easiest one to perform though, the one that the technique is the easiest to get, and that's tricep dips. So let's get stuck into it. So tricep dips are a great exercise for us to include in this list. They're really effective and you don't need much equipment. You can get away with just 2 chairs or a lounge chair, a coffee table, anything like that would be perfect for tricep dips as long as it can take your weight. Now, the technique, although it's easy to get the hang of, I do see 2 key areas that people go wrong with tricep dips all the time. Now the first one is foot position. So I often see people with their feet far too close when they do this exercise. So when I've got my feet in here, I can really use my legs to do most of the exercise. The further my legs are out in front, the more weight I'm putting on my arms instead of on my legs. So what I like to do is get my feet as far out in front as I can, so I'm just kind of balanced on my heels. My knees are just ever so slightly bent like that, and that forces me to put a lot of the weight through my arms. But this does bring me on to the second area that I see people go wrong with this exercise, and that's having their hips too far out from the bench. So again, I'm starting to bring more of my weight over my feet instead of over my arms. So even though you might have your feet a long way out in front, you could still have these hips too far away. You want to make sure that your back is almost scraping against what you're using to do your tricep dips. Not actually touching, but very, very close. If you can do those 2 things, feet as far out as you can, while keeping your hip and back as close to the edge as you possibly can, you will get the most out of your tricep dips. Let's move on to our second exercise, close grip push-ups. Now, close grip push-ups are a great exercise. They're really functional. They work the triceps a lot. They also work the shoulders and the chest a little bit. So I think it's just a great all-round exercise. Let's go through some of the technique points with the close grip push-ups. First of all, as the name suggests, we want our hands fairly close. So no more than about a hand width apart. And from here, we're going to assume a push-up position, and it's important that we keep our elbows really tight to our ribs as we do this exercise. We're not going to let our elbows flare out to the sides like that. So really tight to our body. Now, I don't see lots of people do this exercise, and I think it's because it's quite hard. So let's look at a couple of different ways that we can regress or progress this exercise depending on how you find it. And if you can do 15 clean reps on any of these, it's time to move up to the next level. So let's look at level 1, which is doing it on our knees just like this, where everything's the same. It's just our pivot point is our knees instead of through our toes. Just make sure that you keep a tight core so that your posture stays nice and tight. We don't want to be sagging down or sealing up just like that. Now the transition from doing it on our knees to doing it on our feet is actually really hard. So the progression that I would put in between the two would be doing your close grip push-ups up on some sort of height. So I've got a bench here, but a tabletop, something like that would also be a great option. So start on your knees. If you can do 15 reps, no problems. Move to doing it up on something higher. Make that height lower and lower until eventually you're doing your close grip push-ups on the ground. Let's move on to our third and final exercise, the bodyweight tricep extension. All right guys, the last exercise in this list is the bodyweight tricep extension. So this is what it looks like. We're going to look like we're going to do a push-up, but instead we're going to bend our elbows down underneath whatever it is that we're holding and let our forehead come towards the bar or the railing or the bench top or whatever height you decide to use or have available to you at home. Now, it's really important with this exercise to make sure that we keep a really straight posture, just like our push-ups, But probably the most common thing to go wrong is the angle of these elbows. So we want to make sure that this is an extension movement and not a pressing movement like that. So a pressing movement would look like this. My elbows would flare out to the side and I'd push back up like this. Instead, we want to see our elbows come down underneath the bar or underneath the bench top, whatever it is that you're holding, just like that. And that is going to force the triceps to do a lot more of the work. This is a really effective exercise. Now, of course, one of the ways that we can make it harder is we can go slower, we can go deeper if we can't go all the way. But if you're starting to find it easier, if you can find something that's lower, or if you have something adjustable just like I do, this forces us on a much longer angle and it makes the exercise a lot harder. Alright guys, that's my top 3 bodyweight tricep exercises. Now I would like to see you do at least 2 of those exercises, and it doesn't matter which 2, every second day. So you're going to go 1 day on, 1 day off. Now for each exercise, you're going to do 3 sets of up to 20 repetitions. If you can do 20 repetitions and it's still feeling like you can do more, you need to try and increase the intensity. One of the easiest ways is just by slowing down your repetitions, or, for example, with something like the push-ups or the tricep extension, try and find something lower to do them on. If you'd like to see some more bodyweight exercises, check out some of these videos right here, and until then, I'll see you next time.